Hello. Hello, everybody. We have a stream for today's race. I have been a clown and left my... I've left my wire for my pedals behind with me, so can't race in today's race. Probably would have binned it on lap 1 of the sprint and then binned it on lap 1 of the main race. I don't know, do we call it feature in F1? Maybe. Who knows? Anyway, tyre selections. We got Roller and Riggs and the Red Bull on the mediums, Elite on the mediums, Shotman on the mediums, Jitto on the softs, and everyone else on the hard compound tyres. So, yeah. Should be a mix of strategies, and be a good one. So the lights are now counting down. It's 10 lights. They are out. And after a little bit of a delay, we are away. Looks like Crowding's at a bit of a shoddy start. Simba's potentially going to try and go around the outside of him in turn 1. Roller's also sticking his nose up there. He wants to take advantage of his medium compound tyres at the start of the race. So, can he make some moves? Oh, someone who's made some moves, but not in the right direction. Riggsy's facing backwards and is in 12th position. He had a really, really good sprint, but struggling in the main race. Roller sent it up the inside of Simba. This is not going to help Simba's race. He's trying to stick with the top 2, but made the move on those mediums as his yellow flag again. Oh, there's been a crash between Southerner and Andres. Andres getting involved in an incident in the sprint race and getting involved in an incident in the main race. So luck is not on Andres' side today. As Elite and Simba swap positions, I don't think that was orchestrated. I think Elite tried to just send it on Simba on his soft medium compound tyres. Of course, had that instant with Corey in the sprint. So both of them are a bit out of position because they were both fighting for podium positions, if not the win even. As towards the front of the field, Crowding absolutely rinsing his battery, wants to get past Ogween. He's got that very, very quick straight line speed, although he hits Ogween slightly. They made a slight bit of contact. I thought that was kind of a bit of a racing, Robin is racing kind of a thing, kind of 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. But it's put Crowding under immense pressure from Race Roller. Is Race Roller going to dive up his inside, maybe? Oh, Crowding breaks super late to try and cover that off, but yeah, a bit of contact from them and has allowed Roller and Elite Risks to get back into play. And very, very well held by Crowding, I have to say, to avoid spearing it into the barrier. That could have very easily happened. Oh, Jitto's gone. Don't know what's happened to Jitto. Made contact with somebody? Has he just lost it by himself? Soft compound tyres for Jitto, and they're not working for the Haas driver, sadly. Was it a 36 lap race after our sprint as well? And on lap 2, so the next lap, DRS will be enabled. And it looks like Simba, on his hard compound tyres, is struggling to keep the top 4. So it's going to need to use a bit more battery. Still got quite a lot of battery in the tank. As there we are, DRS is now enabled, so what can Crowding do against Ogween? What can Roller do against Crowding? These are looking like the closest battles. Elite is waiting in the wings with plenty of battery, so sure he's going to be eyeing up a move at some point. Wants to obviously get decent track position so that he can make the irregular strategy of mediums to hards work. And you can see, like, Ogween kind of struggling to pull away from Crowding in the slower speed sections where you'd expect his higher downforce setup to be quicker. You see he gets about 5 or 6 tenths clear, but then that's way too close for Crowding to, on the straight, to be able to just, well, absolutely fly past him. Gonna use a bit of ERS now, and potentially with DRS here on lap 3. You can see him move already. So Crowding's straight line speed has been absolutely massive. Elite's isn't off bad either. Pulling to the outside of Roller, breaks very late. Roller breaks even later. But Elite cleanly slides his way through into P3. Very, very fair racing between the two of them. That was nice. And Roller is not giving it up, though. Crowding still wants to go for the lead as well, so all sorts of things happening at the moment. Simba's lost DRS. I'm sure he's going to have Corey asking questions in his gearbox, trying to get through and try and catch up to the top 4. Of course, starting out of position after that incident. Have to await Steward's verdict of that one, of course. Oh, Crowding's just lost it. And Elite slightly tapped him. I don't know whether Elite's got damage from that, but Crowding just lost it all by himself. And it's given Ogween a great opportunity to try and break DRS. He's going to be using as much as he can on the exit there, but no, he's not going to be able to break it. And Elite on the faster tyres probably would be able to catch up to him anyway. But Crowding, a bit of a mistake, is now rinsing his ERS to try and regain the position that he feels should be his after his error. Is he going to send it up the inside? Oh, he is, and he's made contact! Oh, and he's just spun Elite, yeah. That's 100% on Crowding, that one. Just completely just put his car into a non-existent gap, and it's absolutely killed Elite. And Corey's spun it as well. Did he spun it by himself? Has he made contact with Elite's car? What's happened there? I don't know, it looks like he's just spun it on his own. Corey, so he's dropped down to P9. Suddenly Race Roller in P2 behind Ogween, absolutely loving this. And Simba back in that train, and I mean with Crowding almost certainly getting a penalty for that interesting dive bomb, we'll call. Potentially looking on for 2 podiums. Which would be an excellent result for him. Shut medal also as well. He wasn't sure whether he was fast enough to join in this race. Well, you're in P5, mate, so doing a very, very excellent job, and with a full battery of ERS. If you rinse this ERS a bit, I reckon you can probably close up to Roller's train here. Got about, what's the exact percentage? 76%, yeah, Roller's on fumes, so yeah, if you're listening, shut medal, use your ERS and try and catch up to this train for P2. He could pay dividends very, very nicely. Oh, Crowding's lost it again! Crowding's had another moment. He's really, really quick on the straight, but his car is so unstable. And that's going to allow Simba Rocks 1 to make a very, very easy pass on him. And up into P3 is the current Division 1 Vice Champion, I suppose we'll call it. But yeah, wow. Crowding not having a good day at the races today. That is for certain. But who is SLR Ogween. Absolutely just vibing in P1. Crowding made that mistake. Lost the DRS for them. They were battling very, very hard. Well, of course, it was the incident with Elite that lost the DRS. But yeah. On to lap 7 now. Crowding right behind Simba still. That's yellow flag, that's W Turner. W Turner has lost it. Has dropped down into P11. I expect an imminent retirement in the pit lane, as is traditions here in Mckeon. We always seem to see from myself and W Turner when I race with he races. Always a bit of a spin, bit of a retirement in the pits sometimes. Really should try and hold it out, but sometimes you head loss. And yeah. Crowding's nearly dropped it again. It's not the 5th time this race that I've seen Crowding sideways on the exit of the corner. And can he make the move into turn 1 though? He's going to try a similar move to what he did on Elite. Oh, just about manages to go there. He kind of just pokes his car into place and hopes that things are right between him and Simba. Simba's using a bit of ERS to defend. keeps the position. Yeah, lap 8 now, so SW Turner has left the session. He's left the session whilst his car is sideways. Okay. What's this car doing? It's in the pit lane, but you didn't pit. Weird. Anyway. Oh, he's joined back. Okay. Maybe just a bit of a game glitch then. I don't know. As once again, crowding. This time choosing the outside route through turn 1. But surely he's broken too late there. He's trying to hold it up the inside of Simba, doing a Lewis Hamilton on Max Verstappen. Simba gets his elbows out and keeps the position. And neither of them have DRS. Nice one, game. Unless that's just a visual glitch. Is the other flag and that's Andres? Whatever, whether he's being killed by Will's AI when it was joining. Who knows? Andres nearly a lap down now. Needs a safety car, but with not many people in the lobby, it's going to be very, very difficult for us to see one. As Sharp Metal's still not using his battery to try and catch up to Crowley and Simba. I really think he should be, but he wants to hang back for now. Very, very happy to just sit back as the other. There's a safety car. There's a safety car, and all of the leaders have missed the pit lane. Is Ogwin going to beat the safety car out? Yes, he is. Now that is crucial. He's only just beaten it, but that is going to mean that everyone behind him is going to be able to beat it as well. So that is going to mean that everyone is going to be able to get a free pit stop under this safety car. And yeah, I don't know why the safety car was called that. Like, Turner spun, but like, it didn't do any more than spin. Weird. Anyway, Ogwin actually could probably live to regret missing the safety car, because had he caught up to it, then the likes of Race Roller and Shut Medal would have to drop to the back if they chose to pit to go on to set of mediums to the end. But Ogwin cannot go on a set of hards to the end, sorry, but Ogwin cannot go on a set of mediums to the end of the race from here. So, really struggling big time, I think. He's going to pit anyway. I think you kind of have to, because he knows that all the others are going to pit ahead of him. And safety car's in this lap? Sorry? Green flag racing? What? They're all in the pit lane and the safety car's... What? What? That's so weird. Sorry, I'm just really confused. I've just seen that. Ogwin somehow picked up a... Has he got a 6-second lead? Has at least got 5 seconds for ignoring yellow flag? What? This lobby is... Interesting. Random safety car that decided to be deployed before picking up everybody, causing everyone to go into the pit lane, and I've not seen that glitch before. That's a new one. shot medal. Oh, shot medal lost it. I think he might have. He either got double overtaken or has lost it. But, yeah. Dropped down to P8. It's been a disastrous kind of safety car period for him. And now Race Roller's in effective P1 because he's going to be able to go to their end on the hards. So yeah. Excuse me while I just gather my thoughts over what on earth just happened there. That was very weird. But yeah, I don't know whether we're gonna... Yeah, weird. Very weird. Anyway, Number with crowding, absolutely flying on his medium compound tyres. Still will have to probably make another pit stop, as well Elite behind on the softs, so he's out of there. This start on the mediums could have gone hards, but instead has gone softs. The crowding fighting Roller very, very hard. And is Roller going to be able to brake later than crowding and still make the position? No, crowding manages to slide his way through. And Roller's just got to keep in his DRS now, because a Roller needs to minimise the damage to crowding and Ogween, who will have to pit again whilst he nurses hard compound tyres to the end of the race. What this has done weirdly is, despite the safety car not really bunching everyone up, it kind of has, other than Ogween. Ogween is sitting very, very pretty with a lovely 9-second lead. And the others are really close. And they're probably just as confused as I am with what's gone on. Crowding's nearly broken DRS already, and it's quicker than Roller in a straight line, even though Roller has DRS. Nice setup, Crowding. As here comes Elite Risks. Down the inside, scythed his way through past a Race Roller 22. The Red Bull driver can do absolutely nothing. And here comes Corey on Jitto as well. Around the outside. How on earth is this race going to shake up? I have no idea. Let's just see what happens. Steer for vibes and nothing else. Oh, Elite's lost it! Elite has lost it and dropped down to 5th. It's not like those softs. He's now facing the rear end of his teammate and has a 5-second penalty that he's going to have to serve in the pits. So, yeah. Elite, yeah, really struggling here. Corey's potentially going to try and get past him. Saw what happened when those two fought on the sprint race. See what happens when they fight in the main one. Elite's lost DRS here, I think, on the straight. That's going to be very inviting for the Williams driver. Going to get himself up into the top 5. Riggs picks up a time penalty. But now Corey's not going for it yet. Kind of threatening to go for the move, hoping that Elite will make a little bit of a mistake. But no, he's not making one. As ahead, Simba is putting Race Roller under an immense amount of pressure as well. Roller struggling on the hards, and more than struggling, got a time penalty. Really going to impact his prospects of winning this race on that hard compound tyre. I think this might be Simba's chance. DRS will be wide open. Slipstream. Roller goes defensive. Tries to hold it on the inside. Oh, he might be able to fight back here. Going into turn 4. He's going to try, I think. Simba is going to go ultra defensive. Roller round the outside. Who's going to brake later? Roller is. But Simba is going to fight back. He's going to just about give the Red Bull driver enough room and keep the position. Excellent move there by Simba Rocks 1. And very, very nice defending as well from the Alfa Romeo driver. But all this battling's done. It's allowed Corey and Elite to get through and up towards the rear end of the Red Bull and the other Alfa Romeo driver. As Ogween here is looking very, very good despite having to probably pit again. Everything else looks good. On those soft compound tyres, it's Elite X wrist. Got a lot more straight line speed than Race Roller. He's going to try it around the outside. Who's got better grip? Oh, they've made contact! And Roller has found himself spinning around after contact with Elite. And now Jitto's getting involved as well, as is Corey. Are they going to go 3 wide here? This is... Oh, this is tasty. This is very, very tight. Elite manages to keep the position, but Roller's dropped all the way down to 10th. Elite in the wars once again. Alfa Romeo must be bulletproof with the amount of contact that he's made, because somehow the front wing is still intact. Yeah, that is... interesting. I'm sure Race Roller will be a bit aggrieved at that, but I'm sure Elite will also have his own view on the incident and potentially feel like it was the Red Bull driver's fault. Maybe we're going to see some stewards inquiries after this race. Give the Mckeon driver something to do. There's certainly been a few incidents, and yeah, I don't really particularly like to see incidents, but they sometimes happen, and that is just racing at the end of the day. As Riggs and Southern are batting it out. We've got a similar amount of ERS. And they were once fighting for victories and podiums in Division 1 together. But of course on the big stage now in Mckeon. Fighting, it's only for P8 at the moment, but they have both had incidents this race. Riggs obviously was backwards after turn 2, and Southerner also had his own incident with Andres just a couple of corners later, so potentially a little bit out of position there for both of them, but who knows? And who knows kind of who's going to feature where in this race? I certainly don't. Corey's somehow in P4 despite everything that's happened in his race, so kudos to Corey. Elite holding on there in P5 on his absolutely horrendous softs, I am sure. It's only going to be a matter of time before the Alfa Romeo driver decides, yeah, that's enough time on these god-awful tyres. I need to pit, please. But yeah, bit of a quiet period of the race, though. And also, near the front, crowding slightly eaten into Ogween's gap. Ever so slightly. I wouldn't really say eaten, he's taken a little nibble out of it. Is what I would say. Gone from about 9 seconds to about 8.5, 8.6, 8.7. Aston Martin driver driving well though. Looks like very much driving within himself. Potentially tyre saving. Maybe. And that's maybe Ogween's game plan. Gonna try and tyre save and take those mediums all the way to the end of the race. Moment Ogween's gap to leader from, well, Jitto's gap to leader, the lead hard runner. 17.8 seconds. So if Ogween opens that out by a couple of seconds, then we'll be able to pit and not worry about traffic as Elite X risks decided to pit. What tyres he's going on? Started on the mediums, now onto the softs, and now onto 5-second time penalty. I can't actually see the colour of his tyres. They are hards, so obviously had no fresh sets of mediums left. Goes down in plumb last. Is that going to be an issue here, actually? People like Ogween, people like Crowding, people like Simba, people like Corey. So they may have run out of medium compound tyres. So they'll be forced with either the hards or the softs at the end of the race when they do eventually have to pit. It's going to be an absolute nightmare. And potentially you can see the likes of Jitto and Shut Medal. Maybe even challenge for as high as a podium. As Crowding, that's not going to help his chances. As I'm going on board with him to kind of see what he's doing, how he's trying to close the gap to Ogween. Nearly drops it in the first sector himself. I think that's entirely a setup thing. I've said it a couple of times. He's got mad straight line speed as does Crowding. His car does not like the exits of slow and medium speed corners. It does not like high speed corners either. As potentially the next battle that could be brewing is between Corey and Simba. Corey's gradually been eating into the gap that the Alfa Romeo driver has ahead of him, and at the moment got some pretty decent pace compared to Simba. Simba's lost touch to Crowding quite a lot, but let's see here whether Corey can firstly get in the DRS of Simba and secondly complete an overtake. Because that is the important thing. So one thing closing up and attempting an overtake. It's another thing making it stick. Corey now has DRS. Simba rocks one. So step one, this two-step plan to overtake the Alfa Romeo is complete. Now for the hard part. Now for the potential overtake itself. Very, very easy to make a move in Sao Paulo, but of course you also have the issue of if you make a move in one of the DRS zones, you have another one straight after it if you try and make a move into turn one. So it is very, very difficult to judge where it is that you want to make an overtake. As Corey, first attempt, does not attempt to make the move. Not close enough. Second DRS zone, not close enough. But I think Corey is going to be eyeing Simba up into turn one on this lap now. Has to stay close to the Alfa Romeo driver through the S's. I'd say through the S's, not really the S's, really. SLRF is turn 1, 2 and 3. What are we walking on about? Anyway. Corey. Right behind Simba. Is this going to be the straight in which he makes the move? Of course they're going to both think about pitting at some point, unless they are going to try and stretch it to the end. It'll be an awful stretch, but maybe they might try and ride their luck and just think, yeah, why not? See what happens. As Corey is now right behind Simba. I think it's only a matter of time. Simba going defensive. Red light is flashing. Corey has a lot more ERS. Simba shows Corey the white line and says, you are having the minimum amount of space that I am required to give you and no more. And manages to stay ahead. Great defensive driving from the Alfa Romeo. Hard but clean. And Corey is going to have to wait another lap at least to potentially try again. Corey's got to be a bit more aggressive, I think, next time. Wants to make the move on Simba. Obviously, Simba defending the inside line. Very, very nicely, but Yeah. Got plenty of laps for the Williams driver to make the move, but it's so far brilliant defending from the Alfa Romeo. So, but here we go again. Corey puts the rear wing flap open. See Simba's light flashing, and at this point, if you're the Williams driver, you are smiling, you're absolutely beaming with joy, because you know you have half a battery, the car ahead of you doesn't have any at all, and they have not defended the inside line. Corey going up the inside of Simba Rocks 1 and takes the position, moving himself up into third position. Simba, he's doing an excellent job, it has to be said. Corey's won several races in Mckeon. Of course, Simba won one himself, I think it was at the end of the previous season, on the end of the last game, when he had a bit of a one-off race in Mckeon after finishing second in Division 1 that season. And now, once again, was a bit aggrieved that he's not been in Mckeon, and he is proving to us why he should be in Mckeon. He's one that wants it. A lot of people don't like the pressure. A lot of people don't like the speed. But Simba has absolutely relished it so far. And even though he's been overtaken by Corey, I'm sure he'll be very, very happy with his performance so far in P4. Of course, all could change, though. We don't know whether these guys' tyres are going to pop and whether people like Jitto Shutmetal are in the running. But still, at this point in the race, Simba doing a very, very good job. This is Corey with his recovery. I think that's going to be as far as Corey gets, unless Crowding gets a puncture, and he doesn't. Briggsy X picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's a leader now with... means that SLRF1 is getting very close. Be right on the edge. Coming out ahead of Jitto. And then he'd be on a fresh set of soft compound tyres, and would maybe even be able to reclaim all of his positions. He'd certainly be able to get up to second, I feel, but beating Crowding would be a huge ask, I think. Let's see what times he's saying. He's saying like 10.7, 1.1 off his best, so... very, very warm these tyres. Crowding does an 11.1. Corey, obviously, with aid of that overtake, does a 10.6. Shutmetal 11.1 on the hards. They're not quicker than the mediums yet. That might come later. That's one thing Simba's done really well here. Corey's past him. Simba has stayed in his DRS. And at the moment, brilliant stuff. Just needs to keep within that 1 second, and then the DRS itself will drag him along. And ultimately, with Simba being dragged along a bit, actually helping him against Jitto a bit. It's like to see Crowding look at a little twitchy. I think that's where it's beginning to set in. Corey probably similar. Simba probably similar. Southerner picks up a time penalty, so that's going to help Riggs, because Riggs was less than 3 seconds ahead of Southerner. So that is going to promote Riggs a spot and drop Southerner a spot. I think I'm going to stream snipe Simba here and try and see what his tyre wears on to kind of get a bit of a gauge about whether these drivers are going to make it to the end of the race. See, his lights just flashed. And that for me is a resounding no. If you've just reached 60%, and you have done 18 laps on your set of tyres, then you're going to be on... You're wearing more than 3% a lap, and there is 8 laps to go. That is a solid 90% at the end of the race, is what that is. That is puncture territory, if I've ever heard it. That is not what you want. Just have to see how well the other drivers in the top 4 have managed their tyres as well. And how well Southern has managed his in P8. Very well decide this race. I think they have no choice now but to stay out. It's either kind of resigning your position, going on a set of softs and just not really doing anything, just for safety really, or trying to go to the end of the race and risking a puncture. Jitto could win this race, as all of these drivers that get punctures have to pit, and Jitto could be looking strong. Shotmeadow could be looking strong in P6 as well on his hards, because the hards should go to the end easily. He'll be wearing a lot less than the mediums. So you know what? Could still be a little bit of spice yet in this race. Let's give the race leader, SLR1, some screen time. And let's see how much he's tyre saving. Just telemetry up. Yeah. Yes is the answer to how much tyre saving is he doing. At the moment setting pretty consistent lap times of around low 111s. But yeah, SLRF1 looking quite comfortable at the moment in P1. Commentator's curse of course, but yeah, looking quite good. And now, interestingly, I think Jitto's starting to significantly start to close in on Corey and Simba. So is this the point where their tyres are going to fall off? Could Jitto find himself on the podium? Does look like Jitto's hards are in a lot better condition now. Found an extra leg. And yeah, quite enjoying these at the moment. As SLRF1 is pitting. Does not feel like he can take his tyres to the end. Is taking the risk of the pit stop. Oh, this is very interesting. He will have a fresh set of softs, but is this the right decision? Seems awfully risky to me from the race leader. And has he spied a little bit of a gap to come into? It's going to be very close between Corey and Simba. But is Ogwin going to come out ahead of Jitto? He is. So that is very, very important. He is the lead driver who definitely does not have to pit again. And definitely will not get a puncture. But I am really surprised at that from Ogwin. With just 6 laps to go, surely you would think, no, I've got to risk it. I've got to try and go to the end here. Unless his tyres just were on absolute breaking point. This could still be the right decision though. Just needs to get past Simba and Corey very, very quickly. And I'm sure they're going to be able to put little to no resistance up to the Aston Martin driver. You can see how much quicker Ogwin is already than Simba, and he's already passed him there. That's not an overtaking spot, but he's passed him. I don't think Corey's even going to fight this, to be honest. He knows that he needs to tyre save. I think he's just pulled over to the right-hand side, and as if to just tell Ogwin, a little bit of a weave of the wheel. I'm very, very happy for you to just go by. You are on far quicker tyres than me. But you've got a penalty, is what you have, Mr. Ogwin. 3-second time penalty. And could that pay dividends to Crowding? Is that the little boost that Crowding needs to keep this victory? Because at the moment, Crowding is sitting in P1. It's in a very lovely position. Of course, does have a pending investigation over his head. As to a lot of people, I have to say. Hogweed's gained 2.5 seconds on Corey. 1 lap pretty much. Is Corey... Has he been tapped by Jitto there? Don't know what's happened. Has he got wheel issues? What's happened there? What? I'm so confused at what's just happened there. Jitto's beached himself. Shutmetal's up into 4th. It's very odd. Is that equipment issues for Corey, maybe? He's lost a lot of time. Is it a puncture, maybe? You got a puncture? As Jitto's been disqualified from the session after that additional contact. I don't know. Very, very odd. We'll have to find out that one after the race, but that's very confusing. So the flag is set to 2. Who is that? Oh, that's just Jitto's disqualified car. Crowding is really struggling now. It's absolutely mental how much time Ogween's gained on him. It's absolutely ridiculous. Be able to compare their lap times at the end of this lap. But it will only be 2 laps after this. So Ogween might get the position on track, but that penalty could hurt him. Crowding has done a 111.4. Ogween's done a 109.2. Crowding's just coasting here now, just coasting. Just praying that his car does not suffer a puncture, as is Simba, I am sure, as well in P3. This is like Silverstone 2020. Lewis Hamilton winning the race and 3 wheels on his wagon. Could we see the same thing for Crowding here? Could we see the same thing for Crowding here? Who knows? But what I do know is that he's really struggling here. Simba's also struggling. Corey gets a time penalty after trying to go for the fastest lap. But yeah, entering the last lap, Crowding and Simba have absolutely nothing left in their tyres. They've hit the cliff. It's now down to whether SLR Ogween can make it the position. It looks like he might be able to do it on track. But of course, that's that time penalty. So what he's just praying is that Crowding's tyre goes pop. Crowding's tyre goes pop, Ogween will win this race. If it doesn't, well then Crowding might still have a chance here. But his tyres are going to be very, very, very damaged. He's going to maybe let Ogween go here and just try and save his tyres. He knows he's got the time penalty, so maybe he's not going to fight it. But here we are. Crowding himself could potentially be worrying about a penalty as well. We don't know. As here we are. Crowding going ultra defensive here. And Ogween's going to try it around the outside. They've made a little bit of contact. And Ogween takes the position and takes the lead. Crowding's managed to manage his tyres. And it is looking like he is going to make the end. It's an absolute miracle, really, that he's not got a puncture. But it's going to be SLR Ogween who wins on track. But on penalties, Crowding Door is going to be a race winner. Of course, provisionally, pending steward inquiries. Also provisionally, we do not know who's going to be the final driver on the podium. These are both drivers who are making guest appearances from Division 1. This will mean an immense amount for both of them. But it is Simba Rocks 1 who does get that podium position. Shutmetal is going to get P4. Race Roller is going to be very, very annoyed after what happened in his race. Comes home in P5. Riggs in P6. Does manage to lose position to Elite, so Elite does get P7. Southern a P8 and Corey in the wall in P9. But yes. Your race winner in the main race. Of course, pending stewards and cries. He's crowding door. Followed by Ogween, followed by Simba, followed by Sharp Metal. Are you going to join the party, crowd? Are you going to join the party, Simba?
Simba will probably join. He's just talking to his stream, probably.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. I'll start with you anyway. P2 in the end might be P1 after penalties. Crowding's admitted fault for... Well, I mean, he couldn't really do anything other than admit fault for the incident with Elite. But how do you think your race went, Owen? Obviously, you decided to... Obviously, we had that incredibly weird safety car, which I mean, I'm sure if you could turn back time, you would hope that that message came out 5 seconds earlier, so you didn't pit and have to go onto the mediums for like 20 laps. But yeah, after that, we thought you were trying to make it to the end, but then we saw you pit onto the softs, and you did manage to claim the lead from crowding, but of course had that time penalty. And so yeah, how was the race for you? It did look like quite a lot of fun at the end, to be fair.
Yeah, it was very boring, to be honest, from the start till when I pit for softs. But I pit for softs because my tyres were on like 70%, and I didn't want to get a puncture. So crowding was pretty lucky to not get a puncture, but I knew the softs would be rapid, much faster than crowding. I didn't think I'd get past him on the track. I was surprised, but I got that penalty, which is pretty annoying. But it was very fun at the end, to be honest. Collie was good as well, and sprint race led from start to finish, so pretty solid result.
Yeah, well done anyway. That was very, 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 very enjoyable at the end. I'm going to say I was catastrophically bored until the last 5 laps of the main race. I mean, I spent like 15 minutes trying to work out what on earth happened under that safety car, because of course that was
that was so weird.
That was awful.
But yeah, it's simultaneously screwing over literally the entire field, pretty much. Like obviously helped out Jaden quite nice. You got P4 even though he spun or something like on the first lap of the safety car. But yeah, anyway, well done P2, and also because this is actually the first race after you won the championship. A little word on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy to win the championship. Not the way I wanted it to go, because I wanted Jam to still be racing and fighting till the end, but still was really happy. It's what I wanted since I joined the league, so yeah.
Yep. Yeah, well done to that.
Good.
And no line next season. I've got it on stream, so you have to commit to it.
Yeah, no line.
I've got mate.
Yeah, and Simba, back-to-back P3s in the sprint and in the main race. Well, I'm sure you were not expecting that after being drafted into Mckeon. Although, to be honest, you've had 2 races that you've been drafted into Mckeon and you have not been off the podium. So, going by that form, you have a 100% record of getting on the podium in Mckeon. So, I mean, the most logical question is title charge next season?
Title charge? I don't know. I think that remains to be seen if I get the call up next season. But yeah, a bit of luck in both races. Pace was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. But yeah, that safety car was so bizarre. And I don't know, it was just about managing the mediums at the end because we had to do like 25 laps on them. And
Yeah, I may have stream sniped you and saw how worn your tyres were at the end, because I wanted to see how worn Crowding's would be as well. And I saw they were very, very worn, so I bet you were sweating a bit with Jaden behind you
I
in
was.
P4.
I was, man. He was just consistently gaining and gaining, and I was like holding on for dear life, just trying to get this car around the track with these tires that are destroyed. But yeah, very relieved to get it over the line without a puncture. And yeah, another podium. So yeah, it's a great feeling, man. Bit of relief after a few rough races, but today, grand success once again.
Yeah, well done to yourself, and yeah, I mean, we look forward to hopefully this time actually seeing you full time in Mckeon next season. Be good, being good. I think I will say that all of the drivers who have tested out from Division 1 in Mckeon today have been very, very good. Shut Middle, very, very strong P4. Riggs, I think, got P5 in the sprint race and got solid points in the main race despite being backwards after turn 1. So pretty decent from him, and then of course Simba with the 2 podiums. So yeah, good stuff. And yeah, that's all we got time for. And one final message. Actually look at your stuff if you're moving somewhere and making sure that you packed everything, because that's why I can't race today. I mean, it was to race this game anyway, but yeah. Vibes, as the stream was, just vibes, and good night. Yeah, bye.